Okay, so the warm-up says to find the x and y intercepts. In order to do this, we actually have to write the equation because, as you can see, the graph crosses these x-intercepts at numbers where we don't know. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write the equation of the quadratic, which is our previous target. So I'm going to write y equals a times, and the vertex, x minus, now since it's at 5, I'm going to put a minus 5, remember it's the opposite, squared, and then it's down 3. That's where my vertex is, right here. Okay, and so on the previous targets, remember you guys struggled with, you left A and you actually had to find it. I can use any other point on my graph to help me find A. So I could use this point here, I could use this point over here. I just need to pick one of them. So let's use this point here, which is at 1, 5. So I'm going to plug in 5 for y and 1 for x. Alright, so let me go back and do y is now going to be 5 equaling a times, for x I'm going to put 1 minus 5 squared minus 3. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to add it to the other side. And so I'm going to add it over here. So then 5 plus 3 becomes 8. And at the same time, I'm going to do 1 minus 5, which is negative 4. Negative 4 squared becomes 16. So I have a times 16, so I'm going to divide by 16 because it's being multiplied. And so you get a is a half. So now you could write your equation as y equaling 1/2 times x minus 5 squared minus 3. So now that's the actual quadratic, and now I just have to solve for the x and y intercepts. Okay, so if I'm finding the y-intercept, that's when you substitute in 0 for y. For x, I'm sorry. So I'm finding y, so I'm going to do y equals 1/2 times 0 minus 5 squared minus 3. And you can actually take this whole thing and plug it into your calculator. Hold on one second. I accidentally did not plug in 0. So y equals 1/2 times 0 minus 5 squared minus 3. You can take this whole thing and plug it into your calculator. And so you're going to get a decimal. You're going to get 9.5. So you know that your y-intercept is at x is 0 and 9 is y.5. So if we go up to our graph, we can probably see that it crosses, yeah, just about 9.5. Okay, now to find the x-intercepts. Okay, so now if you go over here, we're trying to find the x-intercepts. And now I'm going to plug in 0 for y, which is going to be right here. So 0 equals 1/2 times x minus 5 squared minus 3. Okay, so if we're going to solve this, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add this lonely 3 to the other side. So 0 plus 3 is 3. So now I have 3 equals 1/2 times x minus 5 to the second power. Okay, before I take the square root, I got to get rid of this 1/2. Rather than dividing by 2, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6 equals 2, the square root of x minus 5 squared. Okay, now this is the point where you actually have to now take the square root of both sides. I'm going to take the square root of 6 and the square root of this side. Okay, so when you take the square root of 6, you're going to get plus or minus, remember, and you're going to get 2.45, always round to 2 decimal places. And then this side is going to be equal to x minus 5. Okay, so now from here, you have to set up the two equations, okay? You have to split them apart. You have to say that x minus 5, let me get my text box here. You have to say that x minus 5 is equal to positive 2.45 and that x minus 5 equals to negative 2.45. So what you're going to do is you're going to finish it by adding 5 to both sides. So x equals 7.45 and x equals 2.55. So these are my two answers. And you'll see in the graph just about crosses at 2.55 and 7.55. But you wouldn't know that, which is why you have to do it algebraically.